Coming up to Christmas, there are many things in our minds. Has all the shopping been done? Have we remembered everybody that we should have remembered? And there's one group of Christians that I think we should remember in a special way, and it's those who are being persecuted throughout the world. If I can just quote for a moment, St. Paul, I think in his letter to the Corinthians, is describing what it's like to be a minister of the gospel. And then in almost a kind of throwaway phrase, he says, and then there is my concern for all the churches. St. Paul is thinking of the different places where he had preached the gospel, the different places where he had lived. And so he carried those other Christian communities with him for the rest of his life. To be a Catholic is to belong usually to a parish or to a community, but we're also linked through our faith and through the structures of the church to other Catholic men, women and children across the world. And particularly in a global age, something that happens today in China or India or Pakistan can be brought to our awareness very quickly. Coming up to Christmas, obviously this year, we're particularly aware of the suffering of people in Aleppo, in Syria. Aleppo, I've never visited, but I've read about it. And it was one of those cities in Syria which had a large Christian population. In fact, there was a Christian hospital in Aleppo. And so this Christmas, we think particularly of all the people of Aleppo, but we think also of our brothers and sisters, Catholic men and women and children, families, who will be gathering somewhere in a little dungeon, in a cellar, to celebrate the birth of our Saviour. And as we think of these men and women and children who are so much to the front of the world news, we remember also Catholics in many other parts of the world where simply being a Catholic, being a member of the Catholic Church, or wearing a Catholic symbol, or having Catholic beliefs is enough to bring down the persecution and the intolerance of that society around you. And I'm thinking of people in Egypt, I'm thinking of people in China, I'm thinking of people in India, people in Pakistan. In some of those places, obviously the majority of Catholic people are native people, Indians, Pakistanis, Egyptians, whatever. But there are also, in addition to those families, those communities, missionaries. And a few years ago, in one of those countries, I met a Colombian sister who hadn't been able to leave her home for over 2 weeks because of the fear that as a Westerner, she might be abused or have some violence shown towards her. So I would just ask that at this Christmas, we remember those men and women and children, our own brothers and sisters in the Catholic faith, who are finding it very difficult just to maintain their friendship with Christ in the Catholic faith and their fellowship with Catholics around the world. And I would just ask that we would remember those communities and those people. And I want to adapt a prayer of Blessed John Henry Newman. May the Lord support them all the day long, till the shadows lengthen and the evening comes, and the busy world is hushed, and the fever of life is over, and their work is done. Then in his mercy, may he give them a safe lodging and a holy rest and peace at the last. And can I just finish by wishing you and all who are close to you a very happy Christmas.